Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a special lightning round of the Day After podcast where we watch things and talk about them. I'm here with Haley.
Hello.
And my no longer welcome roommate guest, Mike.
My fault again.
All right.
Yes.
Now, guys,
This is absolutely your fault.
Hulk Hogan has a movie career that is, we're putting a hard 12-minute limit on this. Hulk Hogan has a movie career so obscure and esoteric that there's no longer a Wikipedia article for it. Like, there's no chart or list, but if you're here, we're about to talk about another one of these. This is 1991's Suburban Commando, starring Hulk Hogan, Shelley Duvall, Christopher Lloyd, and Larry Miller.
So I asked Milo to pitch this movie to me, and he's like, what if Hulk Hogan was Buzz Lightyear?
And that's about it. So, yes, it's...
And I'm like, okay, I'm sold.
yes, Hulk Hogan as Buzz Lightyear, but the majority of the movie is Hulk Hogan walking down the street and shenanigans with a B plot of Christopher Lloyd has no balls.
And also The Undertaker wants to take over the universe.
Yeah, with the glorious cameo. If you don't know who he is, it's not really important, but when you know who he is, holy shit. But we'll get to that later.
Why did I start this?
So if you really want to get to the nitty gritty, sophisticated details of the plot, it's basically Hulk Hogan saves the world, but then he needs to go on break and hide from bounty hunters. So he goes to planet Earth. He hates planet Earth, and he then does some R&R in the suburbs of Los Angeles and rents a room in Christopher Lloyd's shed.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, and Christopher Lloyd is married to Shelley Duvall. I don't know if we mentioned that.
That took 20 seconds. Good job.
And his whole issue, Christopher Lloyd's whole issue is he does not have any balls. He cannot win any races at the stoplight, drag race area. And he also constantly gets undermined by his boss, who is in everything apparently.
All right, if we're playing along, everybody. The reason this is such a short podcast is because we can't do anything but discuss the scenes in order.
Because they are just fabulous.
Let me just joke about this. I joke, but it's legitimate. This feels like an episode of Family Guy. All of the jokes that begin with Hulk on street, weird thing happen, funny because big.
With the exception of the mime, and even that, it's just like...
Yeah, why is the mime there 3 times?
The writers they feel like you threw a bunch of marbles down a staircase, and when some of them land on the cup, you're like, see, we're funny.
What if giant Hulk Hogan alien was trying to learn about ripe fruit? What if giant Hulk Hogan alien was trying to learn about mimes? What if giant Hulk Hogan alien was trying to learn about skateboarding?
And then he falls on his ass. And squeezes a melon in a lady's face.
All of the jokes write themselves. Thanks for trying.
That doesn't make them not funny.
This is where I would get mad at a trailer for spoiling all the jokes, but I don't know. There's some bad ones they didn't spoil.
You said this earlier, that this movie is pissing me off because I am actually guilty to say
funny.
I am legitimately entertained. Fuck you, movie. How dare you make me entertained by this movie of Buzz Lightyear Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. When the jokes land, they land hard. When they don't, you're just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever.
When they don't,
it moves on.
When they don't, you're a creature from Black Lagoon, electric fetish therapy. We're not going to explain that shit. Next joke.
Just so you know, if you ever about to be attacked by a giant creature of the Black Lagoon that's trying to take over the universe, just take some cables to his nipples and electrocute him.
Yep.
None of these.
And I love how he's a fish person, and that doesn't ever get explained or expounded upon. Nope, main bad guy is fish person.
So many of these are setup, payoff. They're like chicken fight jokes. Not that they're long, but that they just, here's another one. Here's 3 mime jokes. Here's 2 skateboard jokes. Here's one where he's talking to Kip, the Knight Rider car.
And apparently Hulk Hogan gets with the secretary, but they didn't have a weird sex scene like they did in that other Hulk Hogan movie.
Also, thank God that she wasn't... Where were all the scenes with Shelley Duvall? I didn't know I was that...
There were 2.
They prepped us with a hot Shelley Duvall's gonna get fucked scene.
Thank God they
didn't
because
happen.
Hulk Hogan respects the sanctity of marriage. But God bless her, she's been through such rough shit.
Okay, for those of you who would, for some reason, follow the filmography of wrestlers... Don't. It's bad. Number one, don't. It's bad for you.
For you.
as a kid, like again, this was basically my Superman decided to have a movie career, so I watched it all, and I was just like, I was just eating it all up.
It's like girls of my mom's generation when Elvis decided to make movies.
Exactly. But kind of worse.
But worse, yes. But definitely worse.
So in the middle of this movie, you find out that bounty hunters are coming after Hulk Hogan. And if you don't know who one of the bounty hunters is, this is not funny at all. But one of the cameos, the red-headed bounty hunter, would later go on to become the Undertaker. And as I'm watching this, I just cannot believe that this is the thing that got him that role. Yeah. It is baffling to me.
So when you describe the Undertaker, I always imagine him as like Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse, and to find out he's like just a giant ginger.
No, yeah.
That was really surreal.
His name is Mark Calloway. Holy shit, ginger as hell.
Shelley Duvall will attest. Wigs do a lot of work.
Yes.
And then this movie ends with like, I'm gonna get you, oh my god, guys. Yes, the joke is that the assassins have squeaky voice.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, that's their natural voice. He was exploding with the helium things. That's why he had a high voice.
Exploding with the helium.
One of the guys was being blasted up through the floors with an air tank that happened to be helium, which is why his voice was so
that
high.
He had rocket boosters on his foot.
Oh. Yeah, that wasn't helium.
Then the joke is that they have high voice? That blows. Your movie sucks.
You were trying to think of a reason for it.
I was writing harder than
You're trying to inject logic.
That's why they didn't talk before, you silly boy.
That's such a hot dick.
So eventually, okay, what happens is the bounty hunters, blah, 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 blah. The bad guy comes with the giant fishies. And then, Christopher Lloyd grows some balls by literally taking a bionic arm and grabbing the bad guy's testicles and squeezing them till he turns into a fish monster.
Yeah. Until he turns into a fish person, which is a totally normal thing that happens.
And then Hulk Hogan goes home with a hoe.
He just goes home. That's what slays me the most.
So this is not the funniest thing to talk about, but we were mentioning this as we were talking about this movie. Have you guys noticed that with boys' movies in particular, they're always about business? There's always a B plot, like involving some CEO making this huge land deal or something.
This doesn't happen with girls' movies.
Not necessarily.
Shot in the dark here. In the average girl movie, is it usually like they're a singer or they're an actress or they have some kind of career of performance that's on the line?
Milo, the underlying plot of every girls movie is finding yourself and being okay with who you are, despite the fact that you're the hottest person in the entire room.
Despite the multi-million-dollar land deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with boys' movies, there's a lot of business movie.
I'll go back to Bo Burnham talking about why he made 8th grade and why it was about a girl. He goes, boys, when they let's play, they talk about games. Girls, when they let's play, they talk about their soul.
I'm just saying, who looked at the script of this movie and said, you know what this needs? A business subplot.
That is,
hey, how else is Larry Miller going to get work?
And he talks, I don't know.
He locks these Japanese people in a room for like literally days.
And he talks like the salesman robot that Jimmy Neutron makes in one of the early episodes.
What a wild reference. This is an okay movie to actually shit on with two people you were very close with. I love you both. You got arms hairy like Christopher Lloyd.
For all the person who makes a wild reference, like the things you can connect to Jackass are amazing.
I'm there. I'm good. Okay.
And one of the things about this movie that I get a kick out of the most is trying to reverse engineer the jokes.
Oh yeah, like when they go to that surfing burger.
Guys, this is fascinating. Imagine I'm pitching a joke to Mike. He's my writer. I'm the joke man. And I said, buddy, I need Undertaker and fake Chris Jericho to be in a wedding car, in a drive-through, and they shoot the laser at the drive-through line. Can you read?
How do I get you there?
Please get me there. I'm a little drunk right now.
Shit. God damn.
Hey, you know what? That thing you just described, let's just do that.
That was not a random description pulled out of the hat. That scene is in the movie.
Yeah, like a Family Guy
joke. And it comes out of nowhere.
And there's no setup. It's like they don't even get the burger. Why are they there if they don't even get the fucking burger?
They shoot the drive-through menu in half and then leave.
Remember your number one, remember your blood pressure. Number two, remember don't inject logic into this. We're approaching the 2-minute time limit. One of us has to finish.
Holy shit,
Are
we've
we
been
moving
talking about
to
this for a
final
movie for 10 minutes.
So if we're moving into final thoughts, this is pretty much par for the course when Milo says, like, guys, I have a shitty movie to show you. I'm like, all right, let's pour some beer and let's go. Don't regret anything. It sounds like we're shitting on this movie. It's fun.
It's more than... I think it's
dumb, stupid fun.
Is it more entertaining than No Holds Barred or not?
No, absolutely
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
But
I can't tell.
This doesn't go far enough into bad for that to count.
I see, because this has
This has positive thing. It was funny at times.
This is like if No Holds Barred was adapted to Disney Channel.
All right, I'll go next. I suppose. Oh my god, that was gross to say.
But I see what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd is my hero. He can act when he wants to, and some people say, "Don't act in this movie." Christopher Lloyd is like, "No, fuck it, I was frozen today," and that's what he does. He does great. Shelley does good. Hulk does Hulk. But you know what? That's what you got to do when you're fighting bad guys. You turn around the corner when this movie turns on. You think you're watching Spaceballs. Just give it a second. I promise. I had a good time. Fuck my roommate.
My final thoughts is I have more.
Please. After some time,
Let this one sink in before we discover a new contagion of virus.
let the wounds heal.
Sorry, guys. He has more movies.
Don't worry, we got some
That was
bullshit
my
to show
favorite
you.
thing. Is like, why do we let this bitch in our house? Antifreeze.
That's how Hulk Hogan got done from being frozen.
Thanks for joining us on the Day After podcast, where we've reviewed 1991's Suburban Commando, part of a long list, absurdly long list of Hulk Hogan's
Too
movies.
long.
Join us tomorrow for something else, please.
Jesus Christ, something else.